The evening was brisk in California, with a gentle drizzle coating the streets in a glistening sheen. The fluorescent lights of the service station cast an artificial glow across the dampened pavement. Leonardo DiCaprio, renowned for maintaining a modest demeanor despite his fame, had pulled in to refuel his motorcycle. As he went about this mundane task, something unusual caught his attention. A pregnant woman, clearly in her third trimester, was moving with determination between vehicles. Despite her visible exhaustion, she was handling heavy containers and servicing automobiles without pause. Her stamina appeared to be waning with each passing moment. The actions Leonardo took next would leave patrons of the establishment utterly astounded and completely transform this woman's circumstances. The impact of his compassionate gesture extends beyond imagination. Prepare yourself for a narrative that instills hope and warms the heart. Before continuing with this account, we invite you to share your location in the comments. Should you appreciate content of this nature, consider subscribing to our channel, as tomorrow brings another remarkable story. The California night was peaceful yet carried an undercurrent of sadness. Along a secluded thoroughfare, a service station's neon signage pulsated with alternating crimson and azure hues, reflecting off the rain-slicked asphalt below. For most individuals, this was merely a convenient stop, but for Amanda, this establishment represented survival itself. At 7 months pregnant, Amanda moved methodically between the fueling stations, clearing windshields and examining engine oil levels for impatient customers. Her threadbare jacket and faded uniform provided minimal protection against the chill, but financial considerations took precedence over comfort. Tonight's earnings were crucial for securing another month's accommodation. Rosie, her 8-year-old daughter, was perched on a plastic seat beneath the station's covered area, protected from precipitation. Her diminutive fingers clutched a well-worn crimson pencil as she concentrated on her sketches in an aged activity book. Only 2 additional shortened pencils, blue and yellow, lay beside her. Despite these limited resources, Rosie remained focused, filling pages with illustrations that appeared profoundly significant. As Amanda continued her responsibilities, the distinctive rumble of a powerful engine reverberated through the station. A sleek black arch motorcycle glided effortlessly to one of the pumps. Leonardo DiCaprio, attired in dark leather outerwear and protective headgear, dismounted with graceful efficiency. Removing his helmet revealed slightly disheveled hair dampened by rainfall. Leonardo surveyed the environment, absorbing the scene. His attention lingered momentarily on Amanda. He observed her efficient windshield cleaning technique and the polite smile she maintained for customers despite obvious fatigue. His gaze then shifted toward Rosie, who was engrossed in her artistic endeavors as if creating something of great importance. Intrigued, Leonardo approached the child and observed her illustration. It depicted a simple yet detailed kitchen scene featuring steaming cookware, a central table, and what appeared to be a counter with an unmarked placard. Leonardo leaned slightly, noting the careful pencil strokes and Rosie's concentration on a specific unfinished area within the drawing. "Do you enjoy drawing?" he inquired gently. Rosie glanced up briefly, surprised by his presence, but responded with a timid nod. "I draw places I want to visit." Leonardo smiled. "This place, what is it?" Rosie hesitated, examining her artwork. She gripped the red pencil tightly, seemingly contemplating her response. Before she could answer, Amanda appeared, wiping her hands on her work apron. "Rosie, don't disturb the gentleman," she admonished with a courteous smile. "She's not disturbing me," Leonardo replied calmly. "Actually, I was learning about her drawings and the destinations she wishes to see." Amanda regarded him with an expression mixing curiosity and wariness, but before she could respond further, a vehicle horn sounded at an adjacent pump. "Excuse me," she said, returning to assist the waiting customer. Leonardo remained stationary, observing as Amanda resumed her duties. His attention then returned to Rosie and her incomplete sketch. Something about this moment seemed more significant than immediately apparent. Leonardo continued studying the drawing as Rosie added additional elements. For reasons he couldn't articulate, this simple paper seemed to convey more than mere pencil marks. It appeared to embody a dream, and he was about to discover its significance. Amanda cleaned the final windshield of her shift, though her movements had noticeably decelerated. The weight of her pregnancy pressed against her lumbar region, sending radiating pain with each step. She attempted to conceal her discomfort, but whenever she bent or reached across a windshield, her expression betrayed her exhaustion. As the final customer departed, she leaned subtly against a fuel pump, attempting to alleviate the pressure on her spine. Amanda inhaled deeply, briefly closing her eyes to prevent tears. The strain wasn't merely physical, it was the emotional weight, the accumulated fatigue of countless similar evenings. From a distance, Leonardo noticed but refrained from immediate approach. He watched as she adjusted her attire and forced a smile before turning toward the station counter. Rosie, seated in her weathered plastic chair, looked up from her sketchbook and noticed her mother's discomfort. "Are you all right, Mama?" she asked softly. "I'm fine, darling," Amanda replied, manufacturing a smile as she occupied the adjacent seat. Leonardo, perceiving the hesitation in Amanda's response, finally stepped forward. "Excuse me," he said gently, cautious not to startle her. "Do you require assistance? You appear fatigued." Amanda looked at him, surprised, but instinctively declined. "Thank you, but I'm fine, just experiencing back discomfort. It's typical during pregnancy." "Typical shouldn't equal constant," Leonardo replied evenly, his tone conveying a kindness that gave Amanda pause. She shook her head, lowering her gaze. "There's little to be done, it's simply life's reality." Leonardo didn't press further but noticed how she supported her lower back while seated. He crouched slightly, maintaining respectful distance. "Do you work here every night?" Amanda nodded, her gaze fixed on the horizon rather than meeting his eyes. "2 nights weekly here, and mornings I clean offices. It covers rent and keeps Rosie in school." Leonardo remained silent momentarily, processing her disclosure. "And when do you rest?" he asked softly. Amanda emitted a quiet laugh devoid of humor. "Rest? That's a luxury I can't afford. Bills are unrelenting, and with the baby coming, I need additional work. There are no alternatives." "Circumstances shouldn't be this challenging," Leonardo remarked, almost whispering. Amanda looked directly at him for the first time. Her eyes conveyed profound exhaustion. "But they are, at least for me. My choices led me here. Complaining serves no purpose." Rosie, who had been listening silently, placed her small hand over her mother's. "You sacrifice everything for me, Mama." Amanda's expression softened, though tears welled in her eyes. "Because you're what matters most, Rosie. You're my motivation to persevere." Leonardo observed the exchange between mother and daughter, feeling profound empathy for Amanda. He realized she carried not only her pregnancy and grueling work schedule but also the emotional responsibility of ensuring Rosie's well-being and providing a dignified existence despite seemingly insurmountable obstacles. "Sometimes," Amanda began, her voice breaking slightly, "I question if I'm doing enough. If someday she'll reflect and think I merely struggled without truly living, that I never provided something beautiful." Rosie squeezed her mother's hand firmly. "You give me everything, Mama." Amanda smiled, though shadows crossed her expression. Leonardo sensed she was withholding deeper emotions. "What about her father?" he asked carefully. Amanda froze momentarily before responding. "He departed when he learned of my second pregnancy." Leonardo felt tightness in his chest. He claimed he didn't want another responsibility, that one child already presented sufficient challenges. Amanda paused, her voice faltering slightly. "So he packed his belongings and left." Rosie regarded her mother with sorrowful eyes but remained silent. Amanda squeezed her daughter's hand, attempting to convey reassurance. "And afterward," Leonardo inquired gently, "what actions did you take?" Amanda inhaled deeply, straightening her shoulders with practiced resilience. I continued forward, because alternatives didn't exist. A car horn sound at pump 2 interrupted their conversation. Excuse me, sir. Duty calls, Amanda said, returning to work. Leonardo remained motionless, watching her departure. He noticed a subtle limp in her right foot, her pregnancy's weight evident in every movement. His attention returned to Rosie, who had resumed her seat. The girl still clutched the red pencil, but her eyes followed her mother with concern that seemed inappropriate for her age. Your mother works extensively, Leonardo commented gently, crouching to approach Rosie's eye level. Rosie nodded, gripping the red pencil tightly. She weeps sometimes, when she believes I'm sleeping. Leonardo felt sharp empathy. Why? Because she's exhausted, Rosie stated hesitantly, and, as Mama mentioned, Papa abandoned us. When he discovered the baby, Rosie added, coloring with increased pressure. He said he couldn't support another dependent. Leonardo remained silent, the gravity of Rosie's words resonating within him. He looked toward Amanda and knew immediately that action was necessary. The struggles this woman faced and the persistent hope visible in Rosie's expression couldn't be disregarded. Leonardo remained beside Rosie, his thoughts accelerating. Though lacking complete solutions, one certainty existed: his imminent actions would transform their circumstances and astonish everyone present. The persistent drizzle rendered the atmosphere colder and heavier. Amanda adjusted her jacket across her shoulders, shivering through her already exhausted frame. Rosie, seated nearby, continued sketching another illustration but frequently glanced toward her mother, seemingly sensing her burden. Leonardo stood observing the subtle interaction between mother and daughter. He couldn't divert his attention from the stark contrast, Rosie's innocent brightness against Amanda's visible weariness, despite her efforts to conceal the physical and emotional toll of her circumstances. I'd like to ask something, Leonardo said, breaking the silence with measured tone. Amanda looked at him, somewhat surprised, but gestured for continuation. If given a single opportunity to alter your situation, what would you choose? Amanda hesitated. The question appeared straightforward, yet its answer carried immense significance. She examined the damp ground, contemplating momentarily. I'm uncertain. I believe I can no longer afford such contemplation. Hypotheticals have no place when bills require payment and children need care. Leonardo nodded, comprehending her resistance. I imagine you've relinquished considerable aspirations because of this. Relinquishing, that's not precisely accurate. It's more like. She paused, searching for appropriate terminology. Reality simply doesn't accommodate certain possibilities. Dreams become impractical when rent payments are barely manageable. Rosie lifted her gaze from her drawing and regarded her mother. But you still prepare meals, Mama, and your lasagna remains unparalleled. Amanda chuckled softly, a laugh tinged with melancholy. Preparing lasagna at home differs significantly from operating a restaurant, sweetheart. But you've desired a restaurant, haven't you? Leonardo asked, redirecting attention to Amanda. She remained silent momentarily. Then, quietly, she replied. Yes, in my youth. Before everything changed, before Oliver. Leonardo detected heaviness in her voice when mentioning the name. Your husband? Amanda nodded, her gaze distant. During our marriage, we envisioned establishing a restaurant together. He maintained I possessed a gift, that my passion for cuisine was exceptional. Following Rosie's birth, circumstances changed. Challenges increased. And upon discovering my second pregnancy, he departed. Rosie squeezed her mother's hand tightly, offering silent comfort. Amanda swallowed visibly before continuing. He claimed he couldn't manage another burden, another responsibility. Then he simply walked away. Leonardo felt constriction in his chest. He observed Rosie, now drawing quietly, then Amanda, maintaining composure despite everything. He straightened, regarding Amanda seriously. Perhaps options seem non-existent currently. But with assistance? If circumstances could change? Amanda frowned, clearly skeptical. I appreciate your concern, but charitable offerings aren't necessary. We're managing. I'm not suggesting charity, Leonardo replied, his voice firm yet compassionate. I'm proposing opportunity, something enabling renewed aspirations. Amanda shook her head, clearly wrestling with his proposition. Why show concern? I'm nobody significant. Everyone deserves opportunities to dream, Leonardo stated calmly, and you merit more than mere survival. Leonardo's tone grew resolute. I'll return tomorrow. Amanda stared at him, uncertain how to respond. Why? Because you deserve better than current circumstances, he replied, gesturing subtly toward Rosie's notebook and their surroundings. Until tomorrow. As Leonardo departed toward his motorcycle, Amanda remained motionless, speechless. She couldn't interpret his promise to return, but his next day's offering would exceed all possible expectations. The following morning, Amanda completed her gas station shift and organized materials behind the counter when she heard the familiar deep motorcycle engine sound. She recognized this wasn't coincidental. Rosie, beside her drawing, paused and looked toward the sound inquisitively. Leonardo parked his arch motorcycle at the previous night's pump, dismounting with relaxed confidence while carrying 2 substantial paper bags. His demeanor suggested someone with absolute certainty regarding his actions. Good morning, he greeted upon approach. Amanda regarded him, remaining somewhat cautious. You actually returned. I said I would, Leonardo replied straightforwardly. He placed the bags on the counter and turned toward Rosie. Good morning, Rosie. Good morning, Rosie responded enthusiastically, her attention already drawn to the bags, curious about their contents. Leonardo turned to Amanda, recognizing her hesitation. Before speaking, please examine these contents. He opened the bags, revealing essential groceries, several new clothing items for Rosie, and prominently displayed, a pristine box of new colored pencils. Rosie gasped delightedly, grasping the box as though discovering treasure. Pencils, she exclaimed, clutching them against her chest. Thank you, sir. Amanda observed her daughter's reaction, but her gaze lingered on the bag contents. She began speaking, but Leonardo interjected. I understand your thoughts, he said gently, but this isn't charity. It's merely assistance to alleviate pressure. Amanda shook her head, suppressing emotion. I'm uncertain about accepting this. Leonardo placed an envelope on the counter. This covers rent for the current month, and there's one additional matter. He presented a slightly wrinkled flyer. Amanda accepted it and carefully read its contents. Culinary course for single mothers. She blinked confusedly. What does this mean? It's a complimentary cooking program, Leonardo explained. It encompasses professional techniques and addresses business aspects, should you consider expanding this interest. Amanda examined the flyer, then looked back at Leonardo, clearly processing the unfolding events. Why extend such kindness? We're strangers. Leonardo offered a subtle smile, his expression serious yet benevolent. Because you deserve it, and sometimes singular acts of kindness transform everything. Amanda inhaled deeply, restraining tears. I'm at a loss for words. No response is necessary currently, Leonardo replied. Consider the opportunity and recognize that someone believes in your potential. Rosie, still holding the pencils, examined the flyer in her mother's hand. Mama, would you learn new recipes like grandmother's? Amanda looked at her daughter, then back at the flyer. Momentarily, something shifted within her, a small opening for hope, however faint. Amanda held the document, glancing between Rosie and Leonardo. Still hesitant but displaying newfound determination, she whispered, perhaps it's time for change. She remained unaware that Leonardo's subsequent plans would prove even more transformative. Several months passed following that morning. The culinary program Amanda joined not only refined her cooking abilities but opened previously unimagined possibilities. Each class reignited her culinary passion and, more significantly, demonstrated food's power to unite people. Leonardo fulfilled his commitment. During this period, he worked discreetly on broader initiatives. While Amanda developed her skills, he established connections, secured support, and identified the perfect modest location within the neighborhood. Though simple, it was welcoming, ideal for forthcoming developments. On a significant morning, Amanda and Rosie arrived at the location, uncertain what awaited them. Leonardo stood there, maintaining his characteristic composed smile, waiting near the building's entrance. "What is this?" Amanda inquired, examining the storefront. Leonardo stepped aside, revealing signage above the entrance. The elegant typography read, "Molson Coors." Amanda froze, shock evident across her features. She covered her mouth, attempting to contain emotions as tears silently descended. Rosie clung to her mother's arm, her eyes sparkling excitedly. It's your restaurant, Mama," Rosie exclaimed, pulling her toward the entrance. Amanda turned toward Leonardo, disbelief characterizing her expression. "You arranged this? Why?" Leonardo smiled, though his tone remained serious. "Because you deserve it. Because your narrative and talents are exceptional, deserving worldwide recognition, and because nobody should abandon aspirations." They entered together. The restaurant's interior was uncomplicated but contained everything Amanda required to commence operations. A functional kitchen, properly arranged tables, and thoughtful elements reminiscent of her grandmother's Italian restaurant. Rosie hurried to a corner featuring a small table for children's drawing, equipped with the colored pencils Leonardo had provided months earlier. Amanda touched surfaces cautiously, still comprehending this new reality. She turned toward Leonardo, seeking appropriate words. I'm uncertain how to express gratitude for this." "Gratitude is unnecessary," he said softly. "Simply apply your talents, unite people through cuisine, and extend similar kindness when possible." The grand opening occurred days later, and the establishment quickly became a cherished community gathering place. Amanda created dishes that conveyed stories, each inspired by her grandmother's recipes but incorporating her creative interpretations. The cuisine was remarkable, but what truly distinguished the venue was Amanda's passion infused into every aspect. During opening night, Rosie sat at a table, proudly distributing menus she had personally designed. Amanda worked in the kitchen, preparing lasagna while conversation and laughter filled the restaurant. Leonardo occupied a quiet corner table, observing everything. When Amanda brought lasagna to his table, she sat briefly, smiling. "I never envisioned reaching this point," she said, her voice filled with appreciation. Leonardo surveyed the surroundings. "But you deserve this position. Your creation here represents something universally needed." As Amanda observed the bustling restaurant, she realized her dream had been revitalized. However, the true transformation extended beyond her personal circumstances. The ripple effect from that singular act of kindness upon her community was just beginning. The aroma of freshly prepared cuisine permeated the atmosphere, enveloping the small restaurant in warmth. Amanda meticulously arranged each dish with the passion and attention she had always possessed. The tables at Molson Coors were occupied by smiling patrons sharing laughter and meaningful conversations. It had evolved beyond mere dining, becoming a space for connection, shared narratives, and community building. Rosie, perpetually equipped with colored pencils, moved between tables, distributing menus she had personally illustrated. She enjoyed discussing the restaurant, proudly sharing its inspiration from her grandmother's treasured recipes. Leonardo occupied his regular table, quiet yet undeniably present, observing with satisfaction. He recognized that the transformation unfolding exceeded the visible activity surrounding him. Amanda approached with coffee. You consistently choose the same table, she remarked playfully. Leonardo smiled. It offers the optimal vantage point, I can observe everything. Amanda sat opposite him, her gaze traversing the restaurant. This exceeded all imagination. Daily, I express gratitude for your impact on Rosie and myself. You transformed everything. Leonardo gently shook his head. You enacted the transformation, I merely provided initial momentum. She returned his smile, though her expression grew earnest. I'll eternally remember your kindness, and ensure I extend it to others. Leonardo nodded. That represents my only wish. Kindness functions cyclically. Now you possess the capacity to create similar change for someone else. At that moment, Rosie appeared tableside with her sketchbook. Mama, observe my drawing. Amanda accepted the sketchbook and laughed softly. It depicted the restaurant, now complete with customers, steaming dishes, and a prominent exterior sign boldly reading, Molson Coors. It's perfect, Amanda said, embracing Rosie. Leonardo stood, leaving payment on the table. I believe it's time for my departure. Amanda regarded him with surprise. Why? You're integral to this. I always will be, he replied, but this establishment is now yours. It's time for you to continue developing this narrative. He offered Rosie a warm smile before exiting, leaving Amanda profoundly moved. As Amanda watched Leonardo depart, she realized her life hadn't merely changed, it had transformed completely. Now she prepared to catalyze similar transformation for others. Her next actions would constitute the subsequent chapter in her story, a narrative of courage, determination, and kindness's profound impact. The message conveyed through this account remained straightforward yet powerful. Dreams represent the flame sustaining hope during our most challenging periods. They provide purpose, direction, and motivation. Alongside dreams, kindness serves as the connecting thread between us. It functions as a subtle force transforming lives by confirming no one stands truly alone. Dreams and kindness possess world-changing potential, not through grand immediate gestures, but progressively, one life and action at a time. Therefore, believe in them, nurture them, and perpetuate them. This represents our path toward constructing a more beautiful collective future. If this narrative resonated with you, we invite exploration of additional stories embodying hope, compassion, and resilience. Click the screen to maintain this warmth and discover more content. Thank you for watching. I hope you all enjoy this video and learned a lesson. I would be grateful for your likes. Also don't forget to subscribe and comment on the video. See you soon.